Let's talk now to Troy Renck, the Denver Post beat writer for the Denver Broncos. And Troy, sitting in that press box last night, it was kind of like seeing something that you thought could be good finally come to fruition. And it was really kind of a shock that the Broncos at one point were up 17-0 on the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I mean, the pieces of the offense finally came together. This is the offense I remember covering back in 97, 98, where they run the heck out of the ball. The tight ends are involved, play actions available, bootlegs, and it's taken longer than they would have liked. So if they can run the ball like this, they are really dangerous because running and defense travel well in the NFL.
Well, alongside that offense, we have to talk about the defense.
Well, it's almost a given. It's like, okay, the defense was they're still #1 in the league, and in pass yards, they're still #1 in points allowed at 16 per game. They're still #1 in sacks with 29. Ho-hum, the defense played great again. Oh, well, that's just what they do. But, yeah, this is the main thing the main reason for this win streak, 7-0 start, is that defense.
Yeah, and, Troy, in your wildest dreams, did you ever think this defense could smother Aaron Rodgers and the Packers the way they did last night?
Not to that degree. I thought he would get his yards, have around 240, 250 yards passing, maybe one touchdown. But they would, they give up some yards between the 20s. They absolutely made his life miserable, guys. I mean, they sacked him 3 times, but in the first half, they were in his face repeatedly. DeMarcus Ware had a big hit early in the game that sent a message that, hey, we're here to stay. You're going to have to, attack us in a different way. And there was a point there where Rodgers had 7 seconds to pass and couldn't find anyone open.
That's right.
I mean, the coverage was unbelievable. And if you don't know about Denver's secondary by now, I don't know what you're watching, because there's not a better covered secondary in the NFL. I mean, you combine the pressure they create up front with the ability to play man defense, it's a deadly combination.
Yeah, we talked about the defense being Super Bowl caliber in the first 6 games. I've been watching the offense come along yesterday, and Peyton Manning get 340 yards passing. Still didn't throw a touchdown pass. They didn't need it. They got 3 touchdowns from the running game, 2 from him and 1 from Anderson. He did throw another pick, which was meaningless, didn't hurt him at all. So he's still tied for first in the league with most interceptions at 11, and he's still the 32nd rated quarterback in the NFL at 75.1. But, Troy, when you look at numbers and stats and rankings and ratings and all that, I mean, you win the game. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, those stats don't really matter at this point in his career. He's not a Pro Bowl. He's not trying to impress anyone statistically. He just has to take care of the ball, manage the offense, and he's not a game manager, because game managers don't make big plays. He's still capable of making big plays. Right. And again, I was the one writing this for weeks, that the offensive issues went beyond Manning. It was the fact he had no tight end production, no slot receiver production, and they weren't running the ball. He can't carry that offense. Even 10 years ago, he wouldn't have been able to carry that type of offense. So now that you see the tight end involved, you see the slot receiver starting to surface a little bit, Manning can play this way and have 250 yards passing and be effective and throw the ball 29 times, 25 times. The key is just don't turn it over. Really, that's the only element left, because Manning you saw last night, you can win a championship with.
Wow. Strong words right there. Well, you're right, Troy.
I loved the quote last night where Manning didn't quite go Jim Mora, but let everybody know, hey, you know what? I'm not paying attention to anything you say.
Right.
I'm going to do my own thing. Troy, last night he ties Brett Favre for most regular season victories. We know where they're at next week. They're at the Colts. He has a chance to set this record. He doesn't talk about things outside motivations, but deep down, how badly, knowing as competitive as Peyton Manning is, how badly would he like to do it in Indy, knowing that that was the team that cut him loose a couple years ago?
No, listen, I mean, it's going to mean more to do it against them. I mean, come on. The guy he's playing against his replacement, it didn't end well in Indy. It was awkward. I mean, they had the right to do it, and for a business decision, it made a lot of sense for Indy's future, but it didn't end well, as it rarely does with legends when they have to leave the game, and especially leave to another team. But to break the yardage record and the victory record at Indy, I mean, that's rich with irony, especially considering how poorly the season has gone for the Colts. Yeah. This game was supposed to be the Colts statement game to put the Broncos in their place, to show that the Colts were the new AFC power along with the Patriots. Well, the Colts are sliding into oblivion. It's a chaotic season for them in every way. And here comes Manning into town, doing what Manning always does, win games. I mean, that's all he wakes up, rolls out of bed and wins games. And so he's not going to fight on this, but obviously it would mean more in front of those people that were, his fans for 15 years. It would mean a lot. I mean, as it should. Why wouldn't it? I mean, and he deserves that, given the seasons he's had since he left Indy.
All right, Troy. Yeah, it's funny. Peyton is the 32nd ranked quarterback in the league with passer rating 75.1. Andrew Luck is just one above him, 31st in the NFL at 76.2. Wow. Peyton versus Luck. Who would have thought this would be the battle of the 31st and 32nd rated quarterbacks in the league? Troy, it's going to be another big week, man. We'll see you out at Dove Valley. Thanks for joining us on the Orange and Blue Review.
All right, guys. Take care.
All right.